So we're going to do a quick walkthrough here of a couple different workflows. We're going to talk through an order entry workflow first, and then a contracts workflow. We can actually support both with this integration. So we're going to start over in HubSpot. If you're familiar with HubSpot, this should look very familiar. We're going to create a company here to do all of our workflows off of here. So go ahead and put in Dell. And HubSpot makes that really easy to get started. So open that up, and we'll just kind of go through, we're focused on the integration here. We know HubSpot has a lot of functionality around leads and contacts, but we're really here to focus on the integration with Intacct. So we're going to start off with this order entry deal. So we actually have two pipelines, and I'll talk about that later. We'll start here, and I am going to come in and select some hammers to sell to Dell. So already you'll see we've got some custom fields over here that'll help facilitate the integration, and we should get an Intacct document number back from this. I'm just going to verify that everything here looks correct. We've got a $10,000 deal for 10 hammers one time. And then we'll go ahead and trigger this integration just by changing the stage to close one. So again, while we wait for this to sync, I'll talk a little bit about what we're trying to facilitate here. This is really a flow that's intended to help bridge that gap between the sales and finance teams. As soon as something is sold, the finance team is kind of made aware of that immediately. Over in our ERP Intacct here, we should get a new customer created. It's probably working on that as we speak. And then a new sales order created to represent that close one deal. So let's go check on the customer real quick, make sure that that's in here. Yep. So we've got our Dell customer recently created, along with all the address information that HubSpot so kindly sourced for us. We'll switch back over to sales orders, and you can see that sales order is here, and it is in a pending status. So we'll open that up, and this is ideally where we're kicking it off to the finance team to take over. So I will go ahead and looks like our convert button isn't there. You know what? I've got to be at the top level. I'll go ahead and convert that to a sales invoice. So this brings over as much information as we want. I'll go ahead and select a tax solution, and that should allow us to invoice Dell. So we'll go ahead and switch back to HubSpot here. The integration can facilitate, if you have an enterprise HubSpot license, the creation of custom objects to bring that invoice and any payment status back into HubSpot. Unfortunately, I can't show that today, but the functionality does exist. Before we navigate away from this, we'll refresh. We'll see that reference is here. So any communication between sales and finance, they'll be able to talk about, oh, hey, I do see that, that order did come through. All right. We'll go and switch back up to Dell here, and we'll get another deal going to show the contracts workflow. So we aren't limited to just these two pipelines. If you've got custom pipelines set up, then we can work with that and tie the pipelines to Intacct entities or contracts or order entry workflows and support both. So we've got some, contracts are a little more complicated. So we've got to select some more information. That can vary. I think what you've just seen there is the bare minimum for us to be able to create a contract in Intacct. But if your sales team is more familiar with other fields, or we need to control these, the Intacct contract fields based off of other information that you all store on your deals, then we can do that. All of the field level mappings here are completely customizable. So I selected some $0 products. I'm going to come in and change some of this stuff to match more of a contract type workflow. So let's see. What was this? My clicks, we'll say 1,000 clicks. We'll say 100,000 impressions. So we've got a $13,000 deal here. And I will update the deal amount. Okay, again, nothing else here is going to really affect the integration. So we're going to go ahead and close win this to trigger things over. It'll resync the customer just to make sure that it's up to date. And it'll attempt to create that contract. So we'll switch over here and go into our list of contracts. While we wait for that, let me talk a little bit about contracts. So our standard out-of-the-box integration drafts contracts. There's a lot of features within Intacct contracts around revenue recognition and customized billing schedules and that kind of thing. We can support, customized billing scenarios as long as the information or something we can key off of is in HubSpot. The standard out of the box one just kind of chucks as much information as we can into the Intacct contract and drafts it. Ideally passing that information off to the finance team so that they can clean things up, get it all right. Most of the information is there. They just need to get the dates or the amounts or the revenue schedule exactly right. So that's what you're about to see. Take that contract ID, come over here and open up that contract. So you can see it pulled our start and end dates, billing frequency, payment terms, all that kind of stuff in here. But our lines need a little bit more information before Intacct is going to let me post that. So we'll go ahead and, again, all of this stuff is mappable if we need to, assuming the information exists in HubSpot. And with a little luck, we should be able to post this. And Intacct is happy. So now that we've got a contract, I'm not going to walk through how to generate invoices with contracts, but the integration, again, if you have a HubSpot Enterprise Sales license, I believe is the name of it, you'll be able to see the invoices generated by these contracts along with their payment status back in HubSpot on custom objects. They're, so that the sales team can see, whether a particular customer is up to date on their invoices and payments.